Hi everybody, I am just hopping on. I'm going to do a quick makeup tutorial. We just finished dinner over here, so I figured I would hop on quick. Do it a little bit earlier than I normally do. If you see the red live button up in the corner, that means that you're watching this video live. Make sure to comment #live. If you don't see that red button, that means you're watching the replay. Make sure you comment #replay so that I know you stopped by. So I'm going to jump right into it today. I'm going to start out with my Touch Glorious Hydrating Face Primer. Yesterday I didn't do this. I had done it before I had come on live. So I'm only using a little bit here. And I'm going to just rub it into my face. Anytime you put makeup on, you always want to put a primer on, just like when you paint a wall. You're doing the same thing with your face. The next thing I'm going to do is my eyebrows. I don't have the brow kit from Unique yet. I am waiting to get that, so I'm just using something that I had on hand. So I'm not doing a whole lot of shaping with this. My eyebrows have a fairly good natural arch. I'm just coloring them in. Because they're a little bit faded, especially when I'm doing a darker eye. Okay. All right. So I have that on. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take some concealer, put that on the lids of my eyes, just to give myself a little bit of prime. If you have any like neutral colored cream shadows, we have a splurge cream, which I believe the neutral color is actually sold out. But they do have different variations of that you can put on your eye to prime it. So yesterday we did all of the blues. Today I'm going to do a mix of the blues and the brown from the Addiction palette. Just in case you haven't seen any of my other lives, this is the palette that I've been using. There's so many different combinations with one of these palettes. That's what I've been trying to show you guys this week, is just all the different ways that you can utilize these colors in here to give yourself a different look. All right. So the first color I'm going to take is this goldish tan color. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it called Tender. And I'm going to put that right under the brow of my eye. This is where I'm going to start my transition, because I usually, when I'm putting on eyeshadows, I will layer my colors and blend them all in together. Okay, so let me clean this brush off. So to clean my brushes when I'm using several different colors, because I don't obviously clean all of my brushes every day, I am using the brush cleaner. And you just spray that right on the tip of your brush. You rub it on a towel. It will take all the product off and it instantly dries it so you can use it right away. Okay. So the next color I'm going to take to put in my crease is going to be the color Brave, which is this brown color right here. This is a really pretty, almost like chocolatey color. And you can obviously darken the intensity of the color the more that you put on. When I'm using darker colors, even the lighter colors, I will take and put my brush in the pressed color, but then I will hit it on the side of the palette just to get any of the excess off, because you don't want a lot of fallout from this. You'll notice that I'm not putting on foundation first if I'm doing an eye. I always will do the foundation last, just in case I have fallout. I won't have any of those speckles that I'll need to clean up in the end if I've already put my foundation on. Just going to add a little bit more to this eye. Okay, so then I'm just checking to make sure that I have it even on either side. Okay, so I again didn't put a really heavy amount on, and I will do some cleanup with my the lighter color. I will usually clean up the inner part of this so that I have a really nice line. I'm not going super heavy with the eyes today. I did a pretty heavy eye last night. This one is going to be a little bit more, a little bit lighter. All right, so I think that looks good. All right, so let me look for my flatter brush. That's a setting spray. Okay, so for this next part, I'm going to take a shimmery color. It is called Secretive, which is from the Addiction Palette 4. To get it where you're getting that shimmer in there, to where it's almost like a wet look, I'm going to take my setting spray and I'm going to spray the tip of my brush just to get it a little bit wet. And just so you can see this color, this is the color that I'm using right here, the shimmery copper color. So then once I have it wet, I just take it and I put it into the pressed powder. And I'm just going to glide it along the inner part of my eye. So now you can see where you see that shimmer and it has that wet look. That's what spraying your brush with the setting spray is going to do when you have those shimmery colors, if you're just doing like an inner corner. All right, now we're going to do the other side, and then I'm going to do our outer corner. Okay, hold on one second, guys. Grab the towel that's on the floor. It's okay. All right, same thing. So we're just going to drag this over here just to get the color on and just smudge it up and back. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to go in again with the Brave, which was that darker brown that I put in my crease. And just blend the two together a little. I'm going to add a little bit to the outer corner too of the color Brave, which is the darker brown that I did on my crease. Just because I want that to grab onto the shimmery eyeshadow that I put on the inner part of my eye. Because I'm going to go around and smoke this out with Triumphant, which is that darker blue color.
Mom, you're right. That did break.
Okay. Can you please get your towel and then dry off? Thank you. Okay.
Use a different towel.
What brush do I want to use here?
Hey, I'm going to ask you something, okay?
No. Please do what I asked you to do first.
Okay, I'm going to ask you quick, okay?
No, because I have the video on. Please go. Go get yourself dressed. Sorry, he just got out of the shower. Okay, so now I'm going to smoke out this side here. So as you can tell, I did that like shimmery tan color right underneath my brow. I took the darker brown color Brave and put that in my crease and on the outer corner. And then on the inner corner, I did that shimmery copper bronze color, Secretive. And I got it wet with my setting spray. And now I'm going to smoke it out with that navy blue, which is a completely different look than the ones I have done earlier in the week. Which at the end of the week, I'll show you all the different variations that I've done. Just so you can see what one palette can give you. So when I'm doing the smoke out over here, I am going in little circles. And it is going to look a little bit messy on the outside here, which is totally fine. Because again, I don't have my foundation on. So I'll be doing that after, and I'll be doing the cleanup of that.
Okay, I'm going to ask him something, okay? Yeah, on video, so I'm going to do something.
Okay. Can you,
Do what?
can you brush your hair, please?
Yeah. I can brush my hair.
Okay, that would be great. Thanks.
Total.
All right, so I smoked it out with that blue, which you can't really tell that it's blue in this video, but again, I'll take pictures at the end so that you can truly see the colors.
See myself in here.
What?
I see myself.
Okay, say hi.
Hello.
Okay, go sit down, please.
Mom, you brushed my hair, remember?
Yeah, it's in the top drawer.
That's my back here.
All right, let me get this eye.
Sorry about that. When you get hurt, you need to go to the doctor.
Okay. Okay. So again, if you're just hopping on, I am doing small circular motions to smoke out the outer part of my eye with this darker navy blue color. I have bronze and brown going on right now on my eyes. And I wanted to add another color just to show you a different variation of this particular palette. Okay.
I'm using this mirror.
Okay.
Buy this on free.
Okay, thanks. So
This it costs you money. You can brush this with a mirror and
okay,
this.
thank you. I'm talking though, and I will ask you to join at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Go sit down nicely, please, and play with your Legos.
Brushing my hair now.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the lighter color tender that I put up here at the brow line, just to clean up that line a little bit. I'm gonna do it on this side too.
And I'm going to ask him a quick question.
Okay,
I'll
but
get it done. And
I need you to go do what you need to do though first, okay?
okay. After it's done, I'm going to ask him.
All right, again, I'm just looking between the two, making sure that my coloring is even and how far I have it smoked out matches the other side. Okay, that looks much better.
Is that better? Mom, is that better?
Yeah, you actually didn't do bad. That's pretty good.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Just cleaning this up right here. Again, the whole idea here is you want to blend it so that it has a nice transition from top to bottom. Okay. So I am just taking a makeup wipe. Oh, turn that light off, Bug.
Why?
Because it messes with the light in my video. There we go. You can turn it on in just a couple minutes. Okay, so I'm just taking a makeup wipe, just cleaning up the side here. So I'm going to put on my foundation now. I am using the Unique Kabuki brush, which I will put all in a shopping list, all the products that I use, so that you guys can just go ahead and, yeah, that's fine. So you can click on that link and everything that I use, you'll be able to purchase right then and there. Or you can change it and add things to it. It's completely up to you.
Can I talk when you're doing that?
Okay, so because I'm using a liquid foundation, I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, which you can see it here. I'm going to put a bunch of it on the back of my hand so that I'm not putting so much directly on my face, and I can control how thick the layer of foundation is going to be and where I want it to go. So this just gives you a little bit more flexibility. You notice when you first put it on, it's really thick and you don't want it to look like that. So I'm going to just take and push it out by stippling it across my face. This is also not my current skin tone. This is a little bit off. I'm waiting to get my new stuff in the mail. This is just, again, stuff I had on hand because I've been going through my makeup pretty quickly because I've been trying to practice.
I know you need to practice a lot so you can do your makeup just like a big girl.
Yeah.
Just like me because I'm a big boy, but I still need to listen to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't listen a lot.
Well, we're working on it.
I know, but I'm always getting mad when I don't listen. And I do listen. She gets happy. And she started wants to play. I'm going to pay, okay? Hey, Mom?
Okay. Okay, again, if you're just joining, I am putting on a liquid foundation. I am putting it on the back of my hand and then stippling it onto my face. And then just spreading it out. So you're only putting a really little bit on. Most foundation is buildable. So you can start with a thin layer and then gradually add onto it until you're getting the full coverage that you're looking for. Be careful, please.
I did not know my shoes right there. Hey, Mom. Can you help me with this?
Nope. I'm in the middle of a video. I can do that after we're done with the video.
Okay. Hey, Mom. I'm going to try by myself, okay?
No. I said wait and go play with your Legos because that's what you asked me to do.
I'm going to try by myself.
Anybody else at home with the kiddos? Trying to keep them occupied?
She's just so happy about kiddos. And Skittles.
Okay, and when you're putting on your foundation, you do want to make sure that you're blending it into from your face into your neck, or you're going to have those not so great foundation lines right here on your jawline on either side, which you don't want. If you have a foundation that is matched really well with your skin, you will have that seamless look. You won't have to blend so much. Because this is a little bit off of my natural color, I have to blend it a little bit more so that it doesn't look silly. If you aren't sure what your foundation color is, all you have to do is take a selfie in natural light. So whether it's in your house, right by a window, not direct sunlight, you want like the back end of the light. So that you just send it to me in a message and then I can color match you from there. And then there's 100% guarantee for your return. So if you get it, you're like, this is way off. This is not matching my skin. Send it back to me. I will give you your money right back. No questions asked. And we can try a different color to see if you're more satisfied with that. Okay, so my face wasn't quite so red today as it was yesterday, so I didn't need to put quite as much foundation on. This was enough. The one layer was plenty. Where is my
Hey, Mom. I don't have anything to squirt this in.
Sorry, guys. I'm just blending this out a little bit more.
Mom, I don't have anything to squirt this in.
Wait, because I told you to wait. So please go play with the Legos like you had asked me when you got out of the shower. And I will deal with the paint when I'm all done. Thank you. All right.
Quiet that down.
Okay.
That's too loud.
There we go. That looks better. Okay, so I just blended it in a little bit more just because I noticed once I put my foundation on, I could see some spots in there. No, thank you. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my concealer. I'm going to put it right here under my eyes and down the side of my nose. And I'm going to swipe it up here so that I get that nice, definite line. Legos. Or we're not doing the paint.
I want to do paint.
Then please play with your Legos quietly.
I told you Mom gets so mad when I do stuff.
Kingston?
Yeah. Yeah?
You're pushing limits right now.
Oh,
All right, so when I'm putting on the concealer, I'm doing it in this V shape here.
Oh, that hurts.
I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to try the motorcycle, but I'm going to do it quiet because it's motorcycle. pretty.
Okay. So this is giving me that nice line.
I'm going to be a little bit more quiet.
Okay, thank you.
My glasses are going to be a little bit more quiet.
All right. So I'm just extending that just a little bit. And then I'm taking my concealer and just drawing that line so I'm getting that line. Okay. So the next step is I'm going to take my beauty blender. I'm going to spray it with setting spray. You're going to get it a little bit damp. You don't want it sopping wet, just a little bit. This is going to help you spread out your concealer. And just like with the foundation, I'm just stippling this. And then once I get up here, I'm going to swipe, because you don't want to pull that makeup off that you have right there. Okay, I'm going to do it again. And then I'll clean up my eyes again once I'm done. So I noticed that if I have flaws in my eyeshadow or I don't like its overall look, I notice that mostly once I've put my foundation and concealer on, for some reason for me, it just visually pulls out the flaws a little bit more. So it's easier for me to see them and correct them. I'll take my tender. I desperately need to do my eyebrows, so that's also why this looks a little bit funky. And I'm being a little OCD right now. Okay. Let me see. Bear with me, I'm just adjusting my eyes a little bit because there's just one part that I don't really like. So even though I did my eyes first, if I find things that I'm not a fan of, you can still go in and correct them even after you've put your foundation on. It's just the initial application that you want to try and do before you put on your foundation. Okay. So I just added in that Brave color a little bit more on the inner corner of my eye. The blue was a little bit overpowering in the way that I put it on. So I just wanted to make sure that I still had those nice transitions between the brown and the navy and the copper color. And I'm just blending this into the blue that I already have on the outside of my eyes, just to tone it down just a little bit because it was a little bit much for me. And then I will take the copper. I'm going to put just a little bit more of the copper on. Okay. So if you're just hopping on, I am just adjusting my eye colors just a little bit. Once I put my foundation on, I saw a couple of flaws. So I was just going in and correcting them and making them a little bit bolder. Okay. so that's done. So the last step that I did my foundation and then I put my concealer on. So the next step is I'm going to take a setting powder and I'll put that right underneath my eyes. I do let that sit and bake while I contour with my bronzer. There's a couple different ways to contour. I prefer bronzer. I feel like it's easier for me to control. If I'm using a darker toned skin, or darker tone of foundation in like a stick form, or even trying to use it with a brush and like a liquid setting, I haven't gotten really good at that yet, whereas the bronzer, I have a little bit more control over. It's not quite as heavy, but it's still going to give you more of that natural contour line. So to put on the setting powder, I'm going to take a beauty blender. I'm going to douse it in the powder, and then I literally just take it and press it underneath my eye to follow the line of where my concealer was. And I'll do the same thing on this side, all the way up. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the contour with my bronzer. To do that, I will use this fluffy fan brush that I saw someone using on here, and I happened to find it on Amazon. It looks like the brand is Doe Color. If I can find it, I will link it in the description of this video once I am done with the video so that you guys can try and snag one up. So to start with this, I'm going to go from temple to temple around the top part of my forehead to the middle part of my forehead. The next place I'll go is I will follow my cheekbone, and I will go up to the temple right here so that it matches the line that I just did. And then I will do the same thing on this other side here. Then I will take it, I will do it on the outer parts of my nose, just to frame my nose a little bit. I'll do it on the tip of my nose, and then I'll do it right here under the lip, and then right on the jawline. So right here, and right there. Right there. And then right here. And then I will blend this lower contour into my neck. Okay, so you can see where the definition is between the two. I think this side is a little darker. So I'm making my bronzer a little bit darker so that you guys can see it. So what I do with the excess setting powder that I have right here is I'm going to blend that in to these lighter areas of contour. So right here, so it's more like a highlight. So right here, I'll blend it in, and then I'll blend it in right here between my cheekbone and my jawline so that it blends in those contour lines a little bit. And if I go a little bit too dark on the bronzer, I'll be able to correct it with the setting powder. So as you can tell, it just blends those lines in just a little bit so they're not so harsh. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Mood Struck pressed blusher. So when I do my cheekbones, I'm doing that like Neapolitan style. So because I contour with bronzer, I will put a blusher right over it. And I usually use like a pinkish tone. And then right over that is where I'll put the highlight so that you'll see all three. Where's my brush? Okay, so I'm using the color Sweet. This is the color. It's a pink tone. And then I'm going to take it and just draw it right along the line of where I put that contour. So then if I need to, if I put it on too heavy, I'll just take my kabuki brush, I'll blend it in a little bit more. Okay, So now that I've done that, I'm going to wait. I'm going to do the highlight at the very end. I do want to add a color underneath my eyes today. So if you notice, a lot of times I don't do eyeliner. I don't always like it. I feel like it makes my eyes look really dramatic. So especially since I've been using the 4D mascara, it gives me that finished look without having to do the line. So usually if I'm not doing an eyeliner, I'm usually doing a color underneath my eye just to bring that added depth. Okay, so I'm going to use the color Secretive, which is that color I used on my inner corner. Oops, sorry, I think I was just blocking you guys from seeing what I'm doing here, sorry. So just so you can see, that's a Secretive color. Again, I'll take pictures so that you guys can see the look a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to take this. And then I'm just taking the color that I put in right here underneath my brow line. I'm taking it, just putting that in the corner. So it adds a little bit more dimension. Okay, let me do the highlight now that my eyes are done. So if I'm using the highlight from Unique, I will use a true fan brush, which if you don't know what a fan brush is, it looks like this. It's just a fan. I have two different ones. This one's a little bit more triangular. This one's a little bit wider, more of like that rainbow look. Because I'm not using that, I'm using one that I have on hand. This one doesn't apply quite as nicely when I use a fan brush. So I'm actually going to be using a concealer brush. I'm going to take it and put it down the center of my nose, which is on the inner part of where I put my bronzer contour on the outer part of my nose. And then I'm going to do it at the tip. And then I'm going to take it right here under the brow line. Right here above the lip. And then I'll usually do a little bit up here. And then I'm going to take it right where I did the contour in with the bronzer and then the blusher. I'm going to put it a line right above that. We're just going to be right on my cheekbone. So if you can see that. Okay. Okay. So the next step before, sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. So the next step before before I do lips is going to be my mascara. So I'm going to use the Moodstruck Epic Lash Primer. This is going to strengthen and lengthen your eyelashes. It will come out white, so don't mind that. Okay, now we're going to do the bottoms here. Okay, I'm going to let that just dry for a second. And then I'm going to go in with my Moodstruck Epic 4D mascara, which is this one. I'll have this linked in the description so you'll be able to access all of the products that I've used. I will put it in a shopping cart format. So you just click on the link and it will take you directly to a shopping cart with all of those products. You can purchase all of those products. You can purchase none of those products. You can purchase some of them and add other things that you want to try out on there. And there is 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. If you get a product and it's not what you expected or it's not working for you, return it. I'll return your money and we'll find you something different. I will say I've used a lot of different makeup products and brands. I've used top brands. I've used drugstore brands. This makeup has been something I've been really impressed with. It's been really good to my skin. It has longevity. I don't go through it super quick because the colors in the eyeshadow palette are very pigmented. And the mascara, I don't find myself having to use a ton of it to get the results that I'm looking for. So overall, I feel like I spend a lot more money on different brands of makeup, whereas this one, I purchased it and I feel like I could have it for anywhere between 3 months and a year, depending on what it is and how frequently I'm using it. Obviously, my eyeshadows are going to last me a little bit longer because I'm using a bunch of different variations. I'm not using the same palette over and over and over again. This particular series that I've been doing of my live videos with Addiction Pallet 4, I've been using it because those palettes are going to be going, once they're sold out, they're gone. We're not getting them back. We're getting a whole brand new set of palettes. So I've been using this one just to show you because this one I believe is still in stock. At least it was as of a couple hours ago when I last checked. I will put it in the cart if it is still available so you'll be able to see that. So I've been trying to do a bunch of different variations of the colors that are provided in that specific palette. It's one of my go-tos. It's one of the ones that I can use in everyday life. So that's why you've been seeing me use that one for all of my lives. Alright guys, so I did it again because I did this the other day. So I forgot to put primer on this eye. I don't know why I always do that. It's not the end of the world. I prefer to use the lash primer. I'm going to put one more layer. So with the 4D mascara, this is like the falsies in a tube is how we like to say. But it is buildable. So when you put on one layer, it's not going to be a super dramatic look. But the more layers that you put on, you're going to get more of that dramatic eyelash. It's all dependent on what you're looking for. So I've essentially put on two layers so far. I just finish this one and then I'll show you. Okay, so with 2 layers on, that's what I'm getting. So not super crazy dramatic, but definitely, like you can see my eyelashes even from far away. So the last thing I'm going to do is a lip. Let's see. So let me see what color it is. I'm just looking to see which color this is because I can't remember. Okay, so I think I'm going to use, let me just see what this looks like. I feel like that might be too pink. Okay, so I'm going to use the Opulence lipstick, and I'm going to use it in the color Upscale. I used this one yesterday, and I really like it with a navy blue for some reason. Okay. See, now I got to fix the other eye. This is what I do. This is why it takes me so long. Okay. Okay, so this is a really light pink color. It's not super bright by any means. But I like it just because it is a little bit more of that neutral feel. Especially because my eyes are so dark. I don't want to do a super dark color. Although I do wish I had like a bronzy lip color. Okay, so this is the finished look, you guys. I did a brown, navy, and bronze colored look with a pink lip. And I have a pink blusher on. So from far away, this is what it looks like. I know my hair looks a little bit crazy, so try to see around that. I'm going to try to come back on in a little bit and do a live hair tutorial with Lange's Lip Sync, which is the 5-in-1 wand. Thank you so much for joining me on this makeup tutorial. I will put a link for all of the products that I used in the description. You'll be able to access that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Just shoot me a message. I usually answer fairly quickly. If you're looking for a color match, make sure that you send me a selfie and natural light. Just message it to me. I will color match you, and we can get you out some foundation. We have liquid foundation. We have the BB cream and a stick foundation and an aerosol, like a spray on foundation, which is really funky. I have never tried it before, but I'm really excited to get it. Just because how cool would that type of foundation be, where you spray it on and it's almost like that airbrushed look. So as soon as I get that in, I will let you guys know, and I will do a live tutorial on that. But again, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you all soon. Bye, guys.